Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to look at bin number 2. This is my 10-gallon tote that we've been following for quite a while. We did one harvest for it last year, and it's starting to get a little bit full, but it still needs a little bit more time and more food in it and more bedding to get it ready before we harvest this one. So we're going to add food, maybe a little bit of bedding material, and we're going to see how the worms are doing, depending on if there's any food left, of course. So let's go and take a look. All right, here we are with bin number 2. And as you can see here, today's date is 5/3, so 18 days in between. A little bit longer than I like, but you know, we'll deal with that. I was hoping to get it to about 14 days or 2 weeks. Of course, the lid is dry because this one we have the bag in. So let me just move this lid off to the side here, and that way I can grab this bag out of here and I can put it upside down on the lid, and we'll see how this is doing in here. So a little bit of moisture on the bag, but not too bad. I'm not seeing any fruit flies in here either, which is still good. I'm glad to see that they haven't returned. Let's move this off to the side. And now let's take a look in here and see how things are doing. This is where we fed last time with the bag over top. That's what we're using to mark. Let's dig in the other sections first and see how they're doing. So first, the far section right here. It's a little muddy, but still crumbles apart. I mean, if I were to squeeze it, I might get out more than a couple drops of water, but not bad. So you can see you got some nice little juvenile worms in here too. So there's definitely some action going on in here as far as cocoons. I don't know if we'll find any. I think it might be the same one right there, but overall it looks pretty good. Let's just take another handful here. Big worm right there at the top. Not as many worms on this side, but not surprising since the food is over here. The food being over there, who's going to want to stay over here in this other section, right? There's not much bedding in here either. The bedding is starting to dissipate as they're consuming that as well, which is good, because when you harvest, it's easier to harvest if there's less bedding. So let's just take a look here. Not seeing really anything out of the ordinary, except I'm not seeing any worms over here really either. So that's not much going on over there. Let's just check out this center section. Not much over here either as far as worms. There's one right there, but not much really going on as far as worm activity in this section. So I hope there's a lot going on in the where the food is. There we go. There's a couple big ones right here, and there's another little one. So overall, a little worried. I mean, there's not a whole lot of... There we go. We got some smaller ones in here too. I'm not seeing many cocoons, so I don't know if that means there's not enough food in here, where they don't feel confident, or if it's just the right amount, where they don't feel like they have to go into overdrive. But let's just see if we can see anything when we go into this food section. Maybe there's more over there. So let's take this off now. And you can see actually there's a bunch of worms right on top, including a couple copulating right here. And we're gonna interrupt them here. So there you go, some worms that are getting ready to make some cocoons in the bin right now. So there we go. We're gonna put these guys right over here, away from the food. But we're gonna put some more food, I think, in the center section anyhow. So they'll be close to it. Let's just see what it's looking like down here. There we go. There is our worm environment that I was looking for. This one's loaded. Pull it apart, you can just see worms. There's lots of springtails over here too, which are perfectly fine. They're something that helps the food break down even more. But this is where they were. They were really by the food, and there's actually a little bit of food left. It looks like this is part of a banana peel maybe, right there. So that's where they were. Let's dig down right here. Oh wow, here we go. There's still, has a very strong citrus flavor or smell. I say flavor because you really do taste with your tongue, but very citrusy, which is fine. But look at this amount of worms are here in this section. I mean, you can see them, they're all over the place over here, and as it breaks apart, there's just more and more and more as you're going. So that's what I really like to see when I dig into a worm pile. You know, especially when this is the last place I fed, so I'm not surprised they weren't in other places in the bin. There's still some food in the bottom here. Looks like there's some celery maybe, which does look like some celery with the way that it's so fibrous. And again, you can see springtails sort of hopping around on here. You can really see them on that end though. Very strong citrus smell. I'm guessing this right here is actually a lime which they're working on. And they're still working on this stuff. I mean, this is still good food, but they're multiplying in here, and they're staying over in this food section. I mean, look at that. You can just see that there's a ton of worms in this section right here because of all the food. So they made it. They all made it to the food section, and they're growing and multiplying like crazy. So we're going to put that back over here. I think this is doing pretty well, but I think it's time to add a little bit more food. Actually, there's that piece of celery. We're going to put that back down in there. Bury that back in. So now what we're going to do is we're going to dig up this center section here that didn't have quite as many worms, which is fine. And we're going to add a little bit more food in here. So, all right, let me just grab, hold on here. I've got, the first thing I had on top here is an avocado shell. I think I'm going to skip that. I'm also going to skip this full lemon right here. That went bad. Let's see what else we can find in this pile here. We don't need to add a whole lot since there is still quite a bit of food in here, it looks like. So I'm just trying to grab some of the other smaller bits in here that I can. So here's some more coffee grounds and apple core. So banana peel. So there we go. We're not going to add too much since there's still some food left in that area. I don't want to really overload them. But at the same time, I want to make sure that there's food left. So that way if a week goes by and they're finished with this area, they have somewhere to go to get more food. Or maybe there's more food for them to spread out and also get some more food in there anyhow. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cover this up. And I think we just threw our copulating worms right on top there. So there we go. That is covered up. We're going to leave this sort of empty over here. They'll make their way over there. They'll even things out a little bit. We're going to cover this section. And now this side is ready to go for next time. But for now, we've got this section all covered. You can see the little springtails curling across here. You know, so this looks good. This is doing really well. They are creating cocoons. I think they stayed in this section over here to create them. Hopefully now they'll start moving out a little bit more. They'll get some more space. And actually, I found a cocoon. I was looking for one. Here we go. There's the cocoon that I was looking for. Nice yellow colored cocoon. I don't know why I had trouble finding them before, but there we go. So we'll put that guy right there. Don't want to pull him out of there. So there we go. That's our update for this week. We'll probably come back in another week because we didn't add too much food. There might be a chance that we need to add some more in a week's time. But hopefully we'll have a little bit more ready to go and maybe some variety in their diet as well. So let's put this bag cover back on. We'll keep this covered as we've been doing with this bag. And then the lid. And this is ready to go back, and we'll be ready for next time. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and I'll try to get back to you. Thank you for watching.